wing caster, and I really did try so hard to become someone that brought more energy and someone that really expressed more energy when casting and stuff. And I really, you know, felt as though I achieved that. You know, I really felt as though my casting stepped up. If you watch me cast like WSG 2016 or 2017, 2018 and stuff, and stuff like that, versus my casting like Katowice 2020 and onwards, it's like a like it's a night and day difference, and I can feel that when I cast myself. So it's just so infuriating to put the work in, to work on change, to work on being better, and then people just spout the same silly, in my eyes, right? What I feel is like the same silly thing of like, well, Wardy's not very excitable. Because they've been saying that for like 5 years now. And it's like, oh, can you just watch a cast or something, you know? So yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just frustrating to read sometimes. I know it's not really the common opinion or anything. People are just silly. Anyways. I guess I was going Forge on the way down because Dark is taking the gold. So we saw this the other day. Mana against Wayne. In the group stages of this tournament, Mana Cannon rushed the gold base against Wayne. And Wayne basically didn't see it until it was done. And he was just dead. Like, he was... Because he'd even pulled the drones before he saw it. So, let's see how this works. And we've seen that probe coming across. Just going to get ready to go drop down a cannon or so here. Now, the Overlord's important. The Overlord to scout your own gold tells me that Dark is aware that this is a possibility. And this is already very different to the time we saw with Mana Wayne, because Wayne just did not know until, like, now. When the drones pulled to transfer to the gold base, I actually think Mana was a bit faster to cannons as well. As that one cannon in the back is walled in, by the way, so that's nice. And this is going to get up. Now, a lot of lings being made in response to this. The first Zealot going to show up. These drones are in trouble. They need to get the hell away. I do like what Mana did, because he can rush the back of the mineral line. And I like that a little bit more. It might be a little bit more open and hence a bit more difficult to get the cannons up, but then you stop the drones from mining. Now they're still mining as the Zealot gets caught. At least puts a couple more swipes out, results in a dead Zergling with the cannon now connecting onto it. Cannon's still going. We're just going to be seeing the hatchery still taking damage. Probe still nibbling. We do have ourselves the link speed continuing up as well. Adept comes over. Overlord taking shots. And that hatchery is going to continue to go down over the next couple of moments. 6 more links coming through. The link speed coming about. Adept is going to shade over to the left-hand side. There's going to be a gateway in the front. 8 links. Link speed all coming through. A couple more drones coming about. 2 drones do go down with the Adept getting the kill there. I'm just going to be having our Queen firing up. Adept taking shots. Now these links are going to go latch themselves onto the gateway in the front. So gateway will go down as well. Link speed activates. Gonna start chasing down this Adept. Adept will fall. So this is really interesting because you get the gold. That's obviously, but it's an investment from herO too. You know, he spent money on, 2 cannons and a pylon. That is, these 2 cannons are worth the amount of the hatchery. So you're investing a lot more to basically kind of reset Dark's hatch timing. And obviously you stop him from having the gold base through the early stages of the game as well, which there is some value to be put on that. Now you see the Twilight Council. I wonder if herO... I wonder if herO is... I was gonna say, I wonder if herO's thinking of just like, basically, I'm trying to figure it out in my head before I say it out loud, but basically the idea of like, hey, I've delayed his hatch, and this game's gonna be a bit slow and a bit off for him, the timings are gonna be a bit weird, and maybe with the Twilight Council, there's gonna be more ways for herO to try and take advantage of that than if he went for something like a Stargate. I was gonna say, I don't think it's necessarily Glaives, but even just a Dark Shrine, in a game where Dark might be very delayed going towards Lair Tech, or might skip out on Spores just to try and take another step forward in the game. I kind of felt like that might be the reasoning from herO, so I think that's going to be his goal. And like I say, when Dark's all caught up, Spores might be the last thing on his mind. We'll see if these DTs can succeed right now. No detection in existence. Dark Shrine's halfway done. The Roach Roaring is nice if there was spores, because then the Roaches will help to deal with the DTs and maybe force... Well, I guess you can't counterattack without a lair. But, yeah, the DTs are also twofold, because if Dark does build a Roach Roaring and spams Roaches, because he's like, screw this, I'm in a weird position, I'm going to go all in. If he wants to do that, that now becomes so much more difficult to justify, because herO naturally defends it. DTs just shut this down immediately. So... Well, I guess it doesn't come down to justifying it, but it comes down to the idea of, you know, in this scenario, herO is able to kind of just look at this and say, cool, I've got DTs, so if any Roaches or Ravagers show up, I'm immediately ready for it. And Dark, I mean, as he produces his units, if he thinks this is Glaives, well, he's going to be in for a sharp surprise. He's got a single Spore Crawler, so there really is a world in which these DTs hit, and they find a massive gaping hole in detection here. I mean, second Spore starts up now, but the DT's already on the third hatch. So this is going to go down, like I say, you can't really counterattack as Dark until you get into the, you know, into the lair, which is on its way, but it's about a minute out from having an Overseer, right? So we're a minute away from an Overseer. These DTs do get away from the Spore Crawler, so they do not get taken down. Attempt in the main base is denied at least, but Dark is going to have to play off of 2 hatcheries here in game 1 of this grand final. They're still building a few more Overlords on the way. And there are a couple of Archons morphing on the front of the third base, so we just get that set up and get that on the go. 6 more Overlords continuing to produce. Prism loads up, just going to move back away over on the other side. We do have ourselves the Immortal, the Blink, and the +1 all continuing through for the moment. Hatchery and a few more drones continue out as well. Overseer also being brought into play right now. Things come across, a couple of Adepts will take some damage. You see our Corrosive Vials dropping down, try and get a little bit more done. So just trying to see what else is going on. Probe Bay coming through, the probes are producing, like I say, herO is getting towards his next step of tech. I mean, the big thing that he's done is he's slowed Dark down to the point where Dark can't really hit him or attack him or really punish him at all. He's definitely slowed Dark down just a lot in terms of getting set up on what is a big map. And I wonder if that's all herO wants, slow Dark down enough so he has a realistic fighting chance. And then he's just very happy to kind of play the, you know, fairly normal game out from there. It's an interesting scenario. It's an interesting one. I like it. Definitely opens up a few questions of how we continue. As you see, the couple of Adepts are going to try and shade forward once again. It's heading toward the natural expansion for a couple of moments. Queen is there. It's going to be seeing the Prism pushed away. Nothing else found just yet. But the main army is starting to move into the center. 3 base here about to finish up Blink. You know, what I was wondering about was the Robo Bay, because he hasn't used the Robo Bay. So I kind of thought he might go for an aggressive push like this, but then the Robo Bay had me second guessing. Because the Robo Bay is not something that's going to immediately have an impact. And now you see a Colossus on the way up, so clearly there's a follow-up that involves the Robo Bay. It just means he's not full committed on this attack. But I felt as though a full commitment to an attack like this might be good, and even with the half commitment, it is good to get the game win. That's why I was just a little confused, because as well, in the bottom left-hand side, with the red Protoss player, this is herO. Takes on the blue Zerg top right-hand side, of course, both teammates on Dragon Kaiser Gaming, one of the best teams out there. It is going to be Dark. Game number 2. I can't really take too much from that game 1 because it was such a, you know, intriguing start with the cannon rush onto the gold. That's not something you'll see repeated on these other maps. That's not something that's going to repeat itself at all, so that definitely makes this intriguing. Okay, and the gas coming up, hatchery coming through. We get ourselves on the go right now. Let's get things readied up for the moment here. Well, your drone's gonna come nibbling around, that probe taking a few shots of damage. Just having ourselves a Cybercore coming up, the Nexus coming through. Queens all coming about. And just have ourselves a very peaceful few moments in our side. And obviously, we're still looking towards perhaps just a Stargate opener into some Oracle harass. That would be my kind of guess as to what kind of goes on here in these early stages. Would kind of make sense. It's just sort of expecting that to come through. As a couple lings do continue to chase the probe out down to the center of the map. So that will be a little bit of a chase going on as we speak. And there's the Stargate, the adept going to replace the probe on the map so it can actually hold its own a little bit, fight back against those Zerglings when necessary, and all of that wonderful stuff. As he comes through, a couple of lings in the Overlord all coming about still. Adept continues to threaten a little bit of a shade out over to the other side, just trying to see if there's any further possibility of things happening, anything else that might go down in this. Let's have our Adept continuing to move about. Again, Void Ray is on the way up. Ling speed is building. A few extra lings are on the way out. Queen also producing. As that Adept is just going to shade back to the center. Yo, Mara Likos, how you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, guys. Grand finals here of the WardiTV November Invitational. herO leads 1-0 in this best of 5. Speed about to finish. A few more drones coming up. The queens are still building. All of that important to note as well, of course, as we just continue to get set here. For a little while longer. A couple queens continue to move around. Void Ray still circling around in the skies. Evo Chamber coming up. Drones and queens continue through. Spore is not far from finishing. And again, we've got ourselves this Void Ray making its way back into the center. +1 melee, a couple queens. The Nexus continuing up as well at the moment. Let's have our our creep still pressing forward a little bit. Something's moved through. The Void Ray is going to be there with the Adept just to push those Zerglings away as well. It's just going to get those knocked out to the way. Pushed back for a moment. That's a lot of Overlords from Dark as he looks to free himself from any potential supply blocks. They're now starting as well, though, alongside this melee upgrade, so that is all coming through. These lings kind of getting caught a little bit by some lings. Or do the Adepts kind of catch the lings, I suppose? We had to shade forward into some Queen Fire immediately. Now some lings going to figure out what they can do. The Oracle going to come in to support this, as the heavy Adept number can be difficult to deal with this early. Going to try and stasis ward. The Adept shade back toward the third base as the Oracle will go down. Adept over here, half and half of them are caught by lings, so good surface area available. Not exactly ideal. As these Adepts now continue back up to the top, to the third base. I don't know if this has really done what herO wanted it to do, though. I mean, he's had a lot of drones running around, but I wouldn't say he's really done a lot of drone damage. We do see the shade over here. The few lings get turned around one more time. Two more Stalkers coming up, Oracle coming in, +1 attack, and Blink continue to build. Adepts will shade their way out onto the center, through into the top side, into the natural. Lings will go look around there. The Adepts will cancel that shade. Still got that melee upgrade about to finish. Roach Roaring is halfway done, and those lings are going to go find themselves a jump onto this group of Adepts who's going to be able to work their way across there already. Oracle overhead trying to help out as things come around one more time. Adepts will take a lot of damage. Queens there as well. A lot of Adepts continue to go down. +1 attack and Blink continue through from herO. The couple of gates building as well. Quadra continues to activate. Now Zerglings get chased away. Still having that +2 melee upgrade come up as a few more lings, a couple more hatcheries, and the infestation pit continue through. Gates and a cannon continuing up as well. Again, +1 attack, not far from finishing. I have that blink not far from finishing, so that's a whole new avenue for herO to experiment in. Being able to be aggressive out on the map with these +1 blink stalkers should provide some opportunities for him. Stalker show up over here, hatchery will go down. Pretty quick denial on a 5th, but obviously a 5th is not immediately kind of imperative for Dark. Like, yes, he wants to move to a 5th base, but if he doesn't have it for like an extra 20 seconds or so, it's not going to end this game or anything, right? So that's absolutely fine to keep considering as you see the Oracle continue to move back across. +2 attack, +1 armor, continue to build on the forges. We do see the charge just about halfway done. Roach speed coming up as well as the +2 melee upgrades. So Dark really still invests in those melee upgrades. We don't see melee upgrades as a big priority a lot anymore since +2 banelings no longer one-shot probes. That used to be a big reason why you would kind of try and utilize the melee upgrades super quickly in a game. Your Stalkers get caught by these lings though. Obviously Dark is looking to rely on these lings to get some amount of damage done throughout the earlier stages of this. Seems as though it's going to be something of a priority to him as move across and just have these lings cleaning up these last couple of adepts in the center. As more Stalkers join up, especially in the middle of the map, the lings will not find a way to find a wraparound. Without a wraparound, it's going to be very difficult for those Zerglings to continue to move around the map as well, so let's see what else happens. +2 attack, +2 armor continuing up, charge is on the way. +2 melee, roach speed building. Stalker goes down. Langston and Roaches continue to move to the side. Adrenal gland still building. +1 missiles coming through. Have a prison moving up in toward the main base as the queens are going to be there. A couple more queens coming across as well. Lings will continue to wrap around. Stalkers will get decimated as our Lings continue to chase. Queens going to be active as well as they'll continue into the main base, continuing after some other queens. You have Mortal now +2 armor continuing up. Extra Archons coming out, +1 missiles. Just on the way as well. Adrenal glands is building right now, so we continue to get this through. Vipers beginning to consume up some energy. Just going to be seeing that +3 melee coming in. Also, Hydro Den halfway done for the moment. Ling's still out in the center of the map. Stalkers are going to sit there. Lings are going to continue to run down. Over the right-hand side, Lings are going to try and get a wraparound, and they will get a wraparound on all of that Zealot Archon. Lings still going to be there. They're going to grab an Immortal as well. We continue back to the upper right-hand side of the map. A lot more Lings coming out. The Hydra's coming through. Groove Spines, +3 melee and +1 missiles. Continuing on up. Stalker's firing through for a couple more creep teams. Some more damage being done. That creep continues to just get cleaned on out at the moment. So that's going to charge in. A couple of roaches taking damage. Those Hydras. Very nearly getting an Oracle. Not quite in the end, though. This army of herO on two different sides. I mean, I feel like you're kind of playing into Dark's game, though. Splitting up your army against upgraded Lings feels rough, but I mean, I guess he just has the numbers to kind of make it work. It kind of felt like the Lings are doing really well on the right side, and in the end, they kind of do. They clean up the army, which is the main part of this. Roaches, couple Stalkers here still fighting. herO already reinforced with more units up the right-hand side. Does he have enough? As more Hydras come out, it feels as though this can't possibly continue working for herO. Surely he's going to have to go into something a little bit more stable, a little bit more kind of with longevity in it, but I mean, he is rebuilding some of the Archon Immortal. He's given up in some of the previous trades. Getting those back on track right now. As the hatchery goes down, Zealots continue to charge upwards toward the center of the map as well. Two of the Zealots already on the hatchery top side. Going to get rid of that top left base. Goes down pretty quickly. Hydra's still firing away, and a few more Zealots will end up dropping, so extra Zealots going down, more damage done. I think herO, I mean, you can see hero's supply is absolutely still wonderful, though. There's been a few moments where hero's just pinged ahead on supply. I mean, he's got 95 probes. His economy is just going to sustain him to rebuild again, and again, and again, and again, and again, right? It's just not going to stop, I don't think, so can't imagine that's going to be a much of anything as 11 more Zealots continue through. The Immortal and the +3 armor still coming up. Seismic Spines on the way as our Hydras continue, our drones continue. Fleet Beacon is also currently being added in there. So again, that Fleet Beacon up also. Our Stalker Zealot sits in the middle of the map. Fleet Beacon continuing to build. You just come in there, gets a hatchery. I mean, that's now Dark only on 3 bases. I think it's the problem. It's a lava problem. It's an economy problem. He's going to try and get to Lurkers, which right now, to be fair, hero's army does not deal well with Lurkers at all, but this is really just the last effort from Dark, because he needs to not just stop hero's army, he needs to sustain for a long time. herO getting the Fleet Beacon is going to give him an answer to Lurkers sooner than what Dark is going to be able to get back in this game with, I think, so not really worried for herO. This is looking pretty darn good for him. He's looking to take a 2-0 lead on a tear after going 0-2 down against Beyond. Won 3 maps in that series in the semifinals. Now looking to win 2 in a row against Dark to start off our grand finals. Is herO going to take this and just run with it? Protoss player winning a tournament? Oh my god. Well, it's not there yet, and he just realized the Lurkers are here, so he's going to back it up. Mothership, one of the tools he's going to use to try and aid him. Wouldn't be surprised if he, with the amount of base he has and the amount of control he has, he could just say, right, I'm going to build a crap ton of carriers. You know, he really could. He doesn't necessarily need to try and end this with a ground army. In fact, it's kind of awkward right now. He's got so many probes. You should probably give some of those up, because at the moment, it's actually going to be Dark's army that's beginning to overwhelm. Dark's army is that much larger numbers-wise. That obviously is an issue, right, given time. So you obviously, it's nice to have a strong eco, but if your army can't compete, it's just a trap you can fall into. So something for herO to, like I say, just keep an eye on, be a little bit cautious about, just not let slip away from him too heavily. As those couple of Lurkers will burrow. herO coming up the left-hand side, herO moving around the right-hand side. Stalker's Archons going to get themselves an Overlord, and I mean, maybe splitting is a good thing again, as herO now takes the second gold base of the game, taking the one that usually would belong to Dark in this. Yeah, I mean, Lurkers are going to be great defensively, although we still lose a bunch of drones. Well, I like this. Just going to go through the middle of the map. I like the time warp as well, though. Slow some of the Hydra Lurk from getting into position. Give herO more time to respond. If the Mothership's going to die, that's actually genuinely a useful thing it can do in the process of dying. So don't mind that. The Viper goes down before it has much use. Like I say, herO is kind of everywhere. And the problem that herO will have is that his current standing army is not that large. And this is why Dark can still do very well, as we do come in from the other side with a ton of Lurkers as well. herO cannot fight that. He has to blink away. These Immortals kind of need to step away as well. There's a couple Lurkers on this high ground he needs to get rid of. As herO is down to 17 army supply. He's got a ton of money, but we've said it a couple of times already. What does a ton of money matter in a situation like this if you can't actually get enough of it spent? Now he's building Tempest. I feel like this is what he needed to do. A little bit of, honestly, when he saw the Lurkers, I feel like he should have started something more of a response to them and just been more ready to have an army set, because like I say, pylon goes down, Stargates get depowered. Like I say, I don't think hero's is the one thing herO could do, right? Fall into the trap of you just have too many workers, your army can't fight. Dog is on, like, you know, he's making do with ends meet, right? Like, he is on absolutely nothing. 45 drones, he's barely on 4 bases, you know? He's got no units at home. herO might still win this with some kind of base trading kind of mechanism, just because Dark can't really even afford that many more units, and herO can just rally units across the map for a little bit at least. That will buy him some time to keep on warping in. He has additional gateways coming up elsewhere, although these lurkers are going to get burrowed, and obviously still fighting these lurkers at some stage will be an issue. I'm really starting to see this become a very ridiculous ending, as we do have our lurkers going to get rid of this left side gold base. There are gates coming up everywhere. herO has a supply lead in the game again, guys, as we continue through. Obviously, he can't get trapped in the main because he can just recall out if he needs to as well. Lurkers still trying to spread themselves out as well. I mean, Dark is not building anything. He's got no money to build anything with. There's herO. He's going to recall. He just recalled onto... yeah, this base is going to clean up a couple of these lurkers, trying to blink away from some of the shots. I mean, the problem with lurkers as well, though, is Dark has 14 lurkers, 5 hydras, 17 zerglings. The problem with lurkers is they have to be burrowed to be effective. Do we start to send... Yeah, we're sending some lurkers back home to deal with herO's units over there. herO who's now needing... He's building 10 gates, by the way, and he's got 2k, 1.5k in the bank, double row, but he needs pylons to get on supply blocks. He's losing gateways as we go. Oh, my goodness. I mean, Dark just absolutely scrapping to stop him. 54 to 37 army supplies, probably the closest army supplies we've had for a little while. herO can utilize the blink stalkers like this beautifully. I mean, just blinking back, getting a few lings. We're in the sort of situation where that goes a long way. Those Zealots going to try and escape those lurkers. Stalkers keep on moving around, and Dark's actually going to leave the game. As I don't think Dark thinks he can break this base, and I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think Dark can break that base. It's just going to take you so long to work through those cannons that herO then has time. Like, Dark was finally stopped, and herO's finally going to get gates up and units warped in. I mean, Dark was probably playing this feeling like he was losing the entire time as well, right? So, it might be that it was a misplay and, you know, leaving right at that very moment before he really knew the situation, but yeah, I mean, it was just a very difficult game to know your place in, right? Because we were just all over the shop. That's the top right Dark. It's going to be our blue Zerg. Game number 3. Let's see if Dark can get one on the board. herO reverse swept against... herO reverse swept Bjorn earlier. Can Dark reverse sweep herO? That'd be cool to see herO win. See what the YouTube comments say about that. You guys know on YouTube, Protoss haven't won a map at StarCraft 2 since 1989. It's been a few years according to YouTube. It's been a few years. Access Sabicore coming up as we get underway. Get this started up. See where things are gonna go for us. First few minutes. Obviously PvZ, peaceful few minutes early. What do you read the YouTube comments? Not very often, but I still get notifications and like emails sometimes when someone comments on my video. Sometimes I see what they're saying, I'm just, yeah. So yeah, sometimes. Not a lot though. I don't make a habit of it. Has been a day of ZVP for Dark. 2-0 Skillis, 3-2 Max Packs. Last couple lings will chase, hunting down a probe. For a few moments. Just gonna see a couple lings in the Storm continue to get active, so a little bit of damage being dealt right there. Queen is gonna fire up, Adept is gonna take a few shots. King Speed is still coming through, is going to be finishing up. A couple of drones are still on the way out as well, so we continue to get those on the way. Let's see what this Adept can find. And move on and across the map, so away we go. Heading over there. Hawk Gate's still coming by. The Oracle's still coming up. Just for the moment. Oh, reset time. Reset time. It's always fun to reset after a long, weird game. Just take a couple minutes to do the initial builds. I don't know how the players do. I don't know how you come out of a game like that last one and then you just straight into this one and you're just kind of playing from a baseline position again. You just reset. I mean, I guess these guys have done it thousands upon thousands of times in practice and so on, so it ain't that weird, but it's a little crazy. Oracle activates, couple things getting picked off, the adept there as well, putting some further damage out. Still nothing really surprising. Obviously the Oracle play is somewhat expected. In the series it has had some twists and turns early. This one is going to be another one of those more standard setups and just seeing where we can go to. As the Oracles come through, going to knock down a creep tumor as we go for a moment. Oracles come back around, just going to come back over here and keep things moving for a couple extra moments. Just have ourselves a third Oracle building as well, so it's going to be actually a fourth Oracle building, so the Foracle is going to be on the map. So here we're really going to double down on some attempted pressure with these Oracles. Really would like to find something at least with these in these early stages. Oracles will activate for a Crypt Tumor that is building on the edge, just trying to get some little bits and bobs, finds a drone on the way out over that other mineral line, so again, little bits and pieces that are going to make up a good bit of damage as the Spore Crawl and the Queens continue to hit the Oracles, which get pushed back one more time. Oracle's still taking some hits, a couple of them still set out in the center of the map as well. Flank building, plus one attack coming through. We do have ourselves the last still building up as well. And as 5 drones have died, remember that obviously with the amount of Oracles you can really, push the pressure. You can deal with them, so that's kind of a little bit of what's happening right now as Adepts are going to threaten into this natural mineral line. They're going to show up over here, they're going to shade, we're going to see these few Zerglings getting picked away at. Stasis ward goes off, 9 drones again getting picked off so far. Now these Adepts continuing again, more of these drones continue to go down. It's a lot of workers starting to drop, 13, 14 kills already. Now the Oracle's turn, looking for more, looking for extras. Oracle's back in from the right hand side, Queens are there, just going to push the Oracles away once more. Robo Bay reducing on the side of herO, so as he just hits +1 and blink, he's not going to go hyper aggressive with Stalkers. He's already looking in the future. He's already looking to go into whatever Robo Bay tech he feels he needs. A lot of the time that might just be the choice to go in towards a couple of that might just be the choice to go into Disruptors straight away. In this case I think he'd probably go Colossi. I don't think he needs Disruptors quickly. Colossi with Blink Stalkers is the sort of thing that herO is really good with for a long time. I remember some great Katowice games against Serral where he played some ridiculous Colossi builds. This feels a lot like that as Stalkers deflect our Zerglings away just for the moment. And there's Colossus number 1 going to come up alongside a Warp Prism, so that double Robo being put to use immediately. Actually, guess the Warp Prism finished, and now 2 Colossi on the way at a time, extended thermal lens, and herO is off and away to the Colossus races. Getting those up and running. Well, Colossi continue through. We have ourselves the Oracle's going to activate there for 3 drones, which is nice. Again, any bit of additional damage is good. They're just trying to put on light pressure with the Stalkers again, not too many. He's not looking to keep on trading consistently, just push Dark back a little bit where he can, because he's putting a lot more of his money into those Colossi, getting those set up for the moment. Stalker's firing, Overlord taking shots, the Oracle's going to turn away from the top right, the Prism on the right side as well. Figuring out what it wants to do as our Stalkers come back in, the Overlord will be taken out. The Mudalisks gonna go for the Prism as well, just for now. There's a couple of Stalkers in the center, gonna get surrounded. One Stalker, two Stalkers, both going down. The Colossi getting surrounded by Lings. Can we protect those? Now, the Mutas are here as well, so probably not. They will go down no matter what, but they did kill a lot of Zerglings still. Oh, this is a weird fight. I mean, now herO knows it's Mutas as well. He can maybe make a little bit of preparations for it. Should help him out a little bit too. His cannons continue up from herO. Just going to see our Stalkers continuing forward. Going to get a Queen as we go. Nicely done. Mutas and Lings all continuing by. We just have ourselves the +2 melee about to be done. +1 flyer attack halfway done as well. These Stalkers will knock down one more creep tumor. That Mutalisk very nearly goes down as well. Not quite in the end. Just about gets away. A few more Zerglings come in. The Stalkers are ready to blink out of here. Muta is going to be in a bit of trouble. I mean, a new Colossus is big to help deal with some of these Zerglings again. It means that the Zerglings will die. It will free the pathway for these Stalkers to chase after Mutas. That's what you love to see, and that's exactly what's happening as Muta Queen continues to come on through, fighting against this army. Colossus is about to drop, but I think, honestly, with this amount of Stalkers here, the Mutas will not have a good time continuing to trade. This looks as though we are going to have ourselves herO in pretty good position. Now, it's not over yet, not by a long shot. Has to micro well still, but he's about to have... Okay, apparently it is over by a long shot. Okay, Dog. I was going to say he's about to have +2, and that's going to make it tougher for Dog to kind of keep on dealing with. Apparently, Dog's just done right then and there. I mean, herO still had to micro the Muta as well. I thought Dog might have had another swarm of Lings to show up. I really thought, like, some Lings might run in, and then herO has to, like, back it up a little bit, take it a little bit more slowly. I will put my hand in the air and just say that was obviously terrible timing for my statement.